So with that announcement of PvP being implemented at the end of May for SD Gundam G Generation Eternal, there have been some mixed opinions about this particular piece of content. As we all know, PvP tends to generate controversy because of the whole pay-to-win aspect that kind of a game mode can foster, especially when it comes to gacha games such as this one. What's up, everybody? Fortexfiend here. Welcome to another SD Gundam Eternal video. And in this video, I'm going to be touching up again on the upcoming PvP event. What I'm going to be doing is trying to be as objective as I can in giving you guys and articulating my thoughts and opinions about this upcoming piece of content. Because I was reading all of your guys' comments on my last video that I put out in regards to the events coming out, which were all really excited for like brand new content, brand new banner, new story, new event story, and even this PvP event. But the PvP one really had the most discussion, and I was trying to reply to as many comments as I can because you guys were really good in getting your thoughts and opinions out there. Some of them were a bit of hot takes, I'm not gonna lie. Even I'm guilty of hot takes because at first I was very, very adamant about no PvP, no PvP, no PvP. But then after taking a look at the live stream that they did and kind of going over the slides, I kind of had a little bit of a change of heart, and I took a step back and took a look at this objectively. So this video, we're gonna be touching up on the PvP piece. We're gonna take a look at what it is again, and then afterwards, I'm gonna give you guys my honest thoughts and opinions and try to be as objective as I can. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at these slides again. And because we've seen these before in my last video, if you guys wanna skip ahead straight away to my thoughts about this, there is gonna be a timestamp there. But I wanna look at it again, so that way it's fresh in my head, and then afterwards I could hopefully articulate well what I wanna tell you guys. Okay, so at the end of May, they're gonna be releasing new content called the Master League. This is gonna be Season 0. So this is going to be what they're calling this whole PvP or player versus player event mode that they're going to be releasing. So it's not even out yet. It's not coming out till the end of May. We have a whole month. So we have a whole month to process this, guys. We have a whole month to process it. So what is Master League? It is full auto battle. It is a score attack event, and it simulates a battle with other players. The players that you go up against will be selected from whatever league you're in. So you're going to start off at a certain league, and as you progress, you get to a higher league and a higher league, and so forth and so forth. We've seen this format before in other gacha games, so it's no different here. You will be promoted to a higher league based on your total score against 5 other players. So you're going to be fighting against 5 other players based on your score. You either get promoted or you stay where you are. There was no mention of being demoted. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. We're just going to have to wait and see until they announce more about this particular event. Or once the event comes out, then we could try it for ourselves and see if there actually is a demotion if your score is too low. Multiple trains. I think that meant to say multiple units because it is Google translated. So multiple teams cannot be made with the same unit. So you can't have 5 Sazabis, for example, in your team. You can't do that. And then there's no plans to implement a ranking function. Now, this is what really drew me and made me take a step back into thinking, okay, maybe this isn't as bad as I thought it would be, because generally when an individual, like when a gamer, right? And I'm a gamer, you guys are gamers that play this game. When we see a ranking, right? You get that itch of being competitive. You're like, oh, I want to be at the top so-and-so. I want to be number 1. I want to be top 10, whatever, right? Everybody has that competitive itch in them. Some have it really badly where they just have to gun for the top, and some, take it a little bit slow, and they're like, if I get to this spot, or whatever, I'm cool with it. But the fact that they mentioned this and they highlighted it, that there's no plans to implement a ranking function, I think it's good. This, again, could potentially change in the future, but for now, I think it's great that there's no ranking function because it kind of minimizes that itch of being overly competitive, and then afterwards it makes this even more a pay-to-win type of an event. So more about the league promotion for the Master League. So if your total score exceeds the league promotion score, you're going to get promoted and receive new rewards. So we have a little bit of a screenshot here. So as you get higher, you go from the I think the bronze league, it says bronze, to the silver, to the gold, and so forth and so forth. And then your current score determines the reward that you're going to be getting. And then we got the league. There's a league shop, and then there's an opponent selection. So again, very similar to what we've seen in other gacha games that have this very similar type of a format for their AI controlled PvP, or I like to call it PvPE, because you're not really playing it live. You're letting it's the AI controlling it for you. So you get better rewards the higher the better tier league you are, and rewards available in the Master League. So the Master League is apparently the highest league, will be in-game items such as diamonds. There are no unit or character rewards. This again is very important to take into consideration, because I know a lot of concerns about this PvPE style of PvP is that, yeah, sure, you're not controlling your party or your characters manually, but you're still going up against somebody. And if the rewards tied to this type of an event are going to be only limited to that event, then yeah, that is very, very pay to win, because how am I supposed to get that if I don't get to a certain, ranking or something, right? But one, there's no ranking. Two, it literally says there, in-game items are the only rewards, so items that we can already get in-game. So this just gives us an opportunity to just get more of those, and if we don't, we don't. It's not the end of the world, and there's no unit or special characters that you get that are tied to this, and I think that's fantastic, because I don't want to see a favorite character of mine or a favorite unit of mine. For example, imagine if like Tall Geese 3, which is one of my absolute favorite mobile suits, was tied to like a top 10 reward. You know how mad I would be if I saw something like that? So I'm glad that they're not doing something like that. I think that's great that the rewards are still going to be items that we could get elsewhere within the game. The Master League Battle Simulation has some different rules from normal battles. The changes are as follows. So someone in my Discord and also the comment section from my last video pointed out the number 1. So the order of action is from most mobile units. So mobility is going to be key on who goes first. So if you take a look at your units, take a look at their mobility. You want to probably start strategizing now, especially as this gets closer, as to who you want to use. Take a look at the modifications you have, because there are modifications that increase units' mobility. So that's going to be very key, because that's essentially your speed stat for this. So the higher, the better. You get to go first. Ideally, maybe you want your tank to go first. So then that way they're able to position themselves, since it is AI controlled, and then they could do their attack down debuff, because most of them have an attack down debuff, which is always fantastic. And then the battle will be ending in 5 turns. As we can see right there, it is 5v5, and it ends in 5 turns. And from what I understand too, this was brought up to me in a comment from somebody that watched the live stream who actually understands Japanese. They said that even if you don't take out all the enemy units, or let's say you only take out one, it still contributes to your score. So even if you lose and you take out a few of the units, you still get some kind of a score, and you could just work your way towards getting that ranking. The only thing, again, that they didn't really mention is that if your score goes down if you lose, or if you get demoted, and that we're just going to have to find out later on. Lastly, the last slide that we're going to take a look at again is just pretty much a summarization. What is Master League? It's a full auto battle, score attack against other players. You fight against people the same league. You'll get promoted based on your total score against 5 other players. You can't use you can't use the same unit, over like multiple copies of the same unit, on a team. No plans to implement ranking, and there are no rewards that are tied to units or characters. And after it is scheduled to be held in May, they're going to conduct a player survey, which I think is fantastic. They're already doing this. I think towards the end of May, towards the end of April, they're going to conduct a survey of the first player survey, and then afterwards they're doing it again for this right after this. So we're going to have our chance to provide them feedback and letting them know if we like this, what they could improve, things like that. So I think that's great that they're doing something like that. Okay, so we've taken a look at the slides. I actually jotted down a few notes just so I can articulate myself better in an objective manner when giving you guys my opinion about this particular upcoming event. So my first thing that I want to touch on is that if you comment and you want to doom post or post hot takes that I'm quitting the game is gonna die now, by all means do so. You're absolutely entitled to your own opinion. However, I think it's a little silly to post something like that when the game has barely been out for over a week. Like, if this game has been out for like a year now, year and a half, whatever, then perhaps, depending on how it's impacted the game, but it's been like 9-10 days. I think we need to all relax. Even I had to tell myself, 40, you got to relax. Like, stop telling people you don't want PvP because you never know how they're going to structure it. And, you know, I was proven wrong when I saw the structure of this. And I was like, you know what? This is actually not as bad as it sounds. And another thing that I want to point out objectively is that PvP, no matter how you look at it, is always going to be pay to win. The players that spend the most money in these type of modes, yes, they are going to have an advantage because they have the funds to do so. And I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money, but that's just how it is when it comes to these PvP style events. However, I think what's important when it comes to a PvP event in a game such as this is how it is structured. For example, I used to play a mobile game called Power Rangers Legacy Wars. That game was pure live PvP. That game lived on live PvP. You actually played against a live player. And that game was extremely pay to win. Now, it did improve over the years, but it is still extremely pay to win because you could be like at rank 1 and have like the most basic ranger or whatever the characters are there, right? And you could have somebody in that same rank who is a whale who will one-shot you no matter how skilled you are. So that type of a PvP is extremely pay to win. This type of a PvP, yes, again, objectively is pay to win. However, the structure is not as bad and it doesn't foster an extreme pay to win type of an approach, at least from my view and how I view this. It's not promoting that, oh, you gotta spend tons of money if you want to like get to the Master League right away. Just play through it. Take your time and pace yourself. That's also why in terms of the PvE content, like the story mode, I'm not trying to blitz through it because I don't want to run out of things to do because I want to enjoy the game fully. I want to go through the development diagrams and all that stuff and discover different combinations, build up other units, not just my URs. I want to enjoy the game fully. So take your time, pace yourself. That's how I would personally approach this. And it's additional content. You know, it's additional content, no stress. You can get more rewards. If you choose not to do it, that's perfectly fine too. If you're really adamant that you don't like this PvP mode. So all in all, guys, I think that what we have been told so far about this PvP mode, objectively, I think it's a good thing. It's going to give us more things to do. You know, for those of us, especially that just beat every single thing on like day 1, 2, or 3, this gives us more things to do. It's another exciting piece of content that we can enjoy. We get to see other people's team combinations, which that's a good thing too, because like you could see like an opponent's team and be like, oh, that team like totally crushed my team. Maybe I should like try that team out or see if I have units that are like comparable. That's some of the cool things that you could get from this particular type of a PvP event. And like I said, the structure so far sounds very promising. I don't think it heavily fosters having to pay to be at the top because there's no ranking. They're not going to implement that in the near future. And the rewards are stuff that we can already unlock in-game by other means. It's not, this event is not tied to like limited time rewards that we'll never see again unless you play PvP. And also, one thing that I did want to mention is that one of my good friends of mine who's playing this game noted to me that this type of PvP event, it's very similar in a way to Dokkan Battle's World Tournament, where you are AI controlled for the most part, and you rank up based on your score. And if your score isn't that great, I don't think that one demotes you. And I haven't played Dokkan in a few weeks now, so, and I didn't get to do World Tournament. But from what I understand in Dokkan, the way that World Tournament works is that if you don't hit the score that you need to get promoted, you could just do World Tournament again until you hit that score. So your score doesn't really get impacted. And if that's the case with this, even better. So we don't have to be overly stressed about like, oh, I want to get to Master League. I want to get this. I want to get that, right? So that he kind of like pointed out that there's some similarities to World Tournament, which to me, that's a great way to look at it. Because I know that Dokkan Battle's World Tournament, it's not, while again, PvP objectively is pay to win, it doesn't foster a heavily pay to win approach in terms of like, you need to spend to get this far ahead. So that's going to be my overall thoughts and opinions on this, guys. Hopefully we all take a step back, we breathe, and just objectively try to look at this. And, you know, hopefully let's stop the doom posting, guys, and let's just enjoy. Okay, there's still the game's only been out for what, 9-10 days. There's still a lot for us to do. You know, we can enjoy our favorite Gundams, our favorite mobile suits. Let's just have fun and enjoy, and just look forward to these upcoming events, and just try to be objective when analyzing and taking a deep dive and looking at upcoming content and things like that. All right, guys. Well, hopefully I got my thoughts and opinions out okay. Hopefully you guys understood. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I try to respond to all comments because I love discussing this stuff with you guys. Stay tuned for the next video, and stay blessed, everybody.